hits it deep for the Dallas Cowboys will be Ron Springs, a rookie from Ohio State. Springs has an opening. And he can fly. Ron Springs returns it all the way to the Ram 28-yard line. Fifth-round draft pick out of Ohio State. Let's look at it again from the end zone.
Do you think Mike Ditka had anything to say to this kicking team at halftime, guys?
Well, he will.
Frank, as you know, and Fred, I'm sure you do too, the Cowboys think they've really got to find here in Ron Springs. He was kind of a sleeper. He'd been hurt there at Ohio State, came back, but he really did all he played for. When Tony was hurt a little bit, first rookie to start for Dallas in a long, long time, Ron Springs.
You got it, though. He was a sleeper. He had a great junior year and then tailed off as a senior a year ago at Ohio State. Led the Bucks in rushing as a junior. Cowboys, good field position, 28-yard line of the Rams. Long count. Dorsett glides along the line of scrimmage, looks for the little gap, fires that little body into the breach, and he picks up 5 yards. It'll be second down and 5. Again, Staubach at quarterback number 12. Dorsett, number 33, and Robert Newhouse alternating with Scott Laidlaw at setbacks. Drew Pearson, wide receiver number 88. Tony Hill, the other wide receiver number 80. The offensive line, Fitzgerald, the middle. Rafferty, Scott of the guards. Cooper and Donovan are the tackles. Billy Joe Dupree is the tight end. Defensively for the Rams, will run it down in a moment. Second down, 5. Staubach puts Drew Pearson left. Tony Hill to the right. Rams opened this game with a lot of blitzing. They got burned a couple of times, and here they come again.
Oh, good pickup.
They had an opportunity to get burned once more as Drew Pearson does not hold on, but the Rams again coming back with their blitz. Brzezinski got close to Staubach that time and made him hustle the throw. Defensively for the Rams will be Brooks and Fanning at tackle. Jack Youngblood, Fred Dreyer, the quick defensive ends. In the middle is Jack Reynolds, number 64, on the outside of the linebacking spot. So Brzezinski, 59, and 53, Jim Youngblood. Secondary, Osteen at the right corner, replacing an injured Rod Perry. Eddie Brown is back there. And Pat Thomas on the left corner with Nolan Cromwell at free safety. Staubach's first miss of the night. Third down, 5.
He didn't miss.
Out of the shotgun. Looking for Jay Saldy. He's there. Staubach's third TD of the night. Jay Saldy, they were trying to cover him with Jim Youngblood. You cannot do that. He's a very fine athlete. Came up as a free agent. Did Saldy 4 years ago. And he does an awful lot of things for the Cowboys. Super on special teams. Good receiver, good blocker. You can even play wide receiver.
Frankie was really well thrown. The ball that the only incompletion Roger had, Tony Hill could have caught it. It was a long one. Look at this ball. Not even a ripple. Pretty well covered defensively, and Saldy's right there. Saldy had a birthday last week. He said, my mom and dad were coming down. She broke her collarbone and wish her speedy recovery.
And the Cowboys open it up winging. Raphael Seption, good on the conversion. And the Cowboys move out to a 20-6 lead over the Los Angeles Rams. 13:54 remaining in the third quarter. Not a bad night. 10 of 11, 138 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the pass that was incomplete, as Don mentioned before, could have been caught. Oh, well, nobody's perfect. Seption hits it. Deep is Drew Hill, the rookie from Georgia Tech. He leaves it at the 2 and goes back to find it.
He better hurry.
Down he goes. Ron Springs, the rookie from Ohio State, who returned the second half kickoff deep into Ram territory to set up that touchdown, was hustling down there on the special teams. The Rams will begin at their own 3-yard line. That's not too comfortable when you're down 20-6.
Frank, if you put things in perspective, think how much easier it was for Staubach. He got a kickoff return to the other team's 28-yard line. Here's Hayden gets one on his own 3-yard line. It makes it a lot tougher job.
Rams bring it up. Hayden at quarterback, number 11. Cullen Bryant, 32, is in there at one setback. Wendell Tyler, the other setback, number 26. Tyler gets the call, follows the block with Cullen Bryant, gets out over the 5 to the 7. Gain of about 4 yards. It'll be second down at 6. The offensive line, Rich Saul at center. Dan Reisig, John Williams are the guards. Doug France at the left side, number 77. Jackie Slater at the right side, number 78 are the tackles. Terry Nelson's the tight end. Defensively is Harvey Martin, Randy White, Dave Stalls, Larry Cole for the Cowboys. The linebackers, Brunig in the middle, 53, Henderson 56, the other wide. Weak, strong side linebacker. D.D. Lewis is the weak side linebacker, number 50. Second down, 6. Tyler gets the call again. Oh, he's stacked up. Stalls hit him, number 65. Tom Henderson was also there for the Cowboys.
Stalls did not move, man. He really neutralized that front right there. He just shot right out, didn't budge at all.
Third down, 6.
There's Nolan Cromwell, 21.
Doesn't like the way things are going, do you, Nolan? I can understand. Neither do you, Jack.
All right, Don, do they throw here?
Oh, yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I think they've at least got to attempt one.
Denard goes left. He wears 88, one wide receiver. Ron Smith is in there. Billy Waddy does not come back. He pulled a hamstring in the first quarter. Smith is number 84.
He's got him right. Oh,
Hayden.
Oh, my
Wendell
goodness.
Tyler. The screen out there in your own end zone. Rather interesting. Out to the 10. Short of the first down, and the Rams will have to turn it over.
he had Terry Nelson that time. Wide open right down the middle. That's his tight end. But that screen was called. It's awfully hard. In fact, he probably didn't even look down the field. He had that screen set up to go out there.
Thomas Henderson. We've said before, he'll chew the fat with you, but he can really perform as a player. Ken Clark to punt for the Rams. Oh, end over end. Steve Wilson pursues it, but it takes a Ram bounce, and Wilson can do nothing about it. He goes out at the 32-yard line, so the Cowboys will have their second possession of the second half, following a 56-yard punt by Ken Clark. Texas Stadium, our resident humorist Don Meredith once commented, why didn't they finish it?
Well, it's actually, the Texas Stadium is to Clint Murchison what the unfinished symphony was to Beethoven.
Jam-packed with Cowboy fans. They love what they're seeing tonight. The Cowboys over the Rams 20-6. The Cowboys first and 10. The ball at their own 32, second possession of this half. Drew Pearson in motion. Staubach with a little roll. Dumps it off to Tony Dorsett, who could not find the handle. Jim Youngblood really popped Tony Dorsett. It'll be second down and 10.
Frank, by the way, Fran, this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or really any other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the National Football League, you can't do that. It's prohibited.
All right. Why would they want to use it anyway?
I don't know.
Second down and 10, the Cowboys. Drew Pearson in motion. Tony Dorsett finds a little opening, makes the most of it. Close to the Cowboy first down, out over the 42-yard line. And they mark it over the 42. It is a Dallas first down. He makes a lot out of very little. A little trap block there, folding. Herbert Scott in behind it. He leads it. Dorsett pops through. Dallas first down.
You notice all the great backs, and as we look at Tony Dorsett, they're able to break a tackle somewhere around the line of scrimmage, which he did there. Had good blocking, broke a tackle, and got 9 yards.
Looking for a third consecutive 100-yard night. No Cowboy running back has ever done that. Tony is up to 58 yards on the night. Billy Joe Dupree in motion. Roger gets it off to Dorsett, who was looking over his shoulder, drops the football, and Roger got pounded once again by Jack Youngblood.
There's Jack Youngblood working against Jim Cooper, who's done a pretty good job on him tonight, and that's not a bad job there. He's pushed him out around Roger. He's still got a hold of him a little bit. That hurts.
Both Jack Youngblood and Harvey Martin, they can take that long route around a blocker and still get back to the quarterback. They're just so quick.
He got that split-second jump, too. He really got off the ball that time and got to Cooper's outside. Cooper never could catch up with him.
Second down, 10. Ball at the 42-yard line. Scott Laidlaw out over the 45-yard line to the 46, a gain of 3. It'll be third down and 7 for the Cowboys. Jack Youngblood sliding over there defensively for the Rams.
You know, you keep looking for the Ram defense to force some turnovers. Last week against the New Orleans Saints and Archie Manning, they intercepted 5 passes. They have averaged turning over the ball for their offense three turnovers a game, and tonight no interceptions.
That's right.
That is their game. They started out big. They like to blitz. They started with the blitz tonight. They got burned by it. They came back with it. here in the second half, but they have not been able to force the turnover. 3rd down 7. Butch Johnson in, wide receiver. Cowboys, number 86. That's Butch Johnson. He has a first down, close to the 40-yard line. Butch Johnson just activated last week after having a great preseason, but just before the season began, he broke the little finger on his right hand, and he was just activated last week.
Preston Pearson's trying to do a little help back there this time, block it. I don't know how they're getting that wide open, Fran. I really don't understand, because I thought he would probably go to Salty again. Salty was one-on-one on the linebacker, but that time Butch just worked to the inside. Looked like Thomas hung a little bit late on the outside. I guess they were in those zones.
The 1st and 10 inside the 41-yard line of the Rams. We're inside 10 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Dallas looking very machine-like here in the beginning of the second half. Look at Dorsett, and look at him accelerate. He has another Cowboy first down, and an ordinary back would have been stopped back there about the 35-yard line. But Dorsett carries it to the 26, another Cowboy first.
One thing he is not ordinary, I guarantee you. Going to have another pretty good block in there. Well, actually, all he did was just move him out of the way. You saw Fitzgerald finally got him with a big first.
I'll tell you, at 190 pounds, Tony Dorsett is also very strong. You saw him carrying Jim Youngblood that time. He's up to 73 yards thus far on the night. 1st and 10. Staubach gives it to Dorsett again. Looks for an opening, doesn't find it. Goes down in the arms of Larry Brooks. Lose about a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11. And a worried Malavasi in his 2nd year now, the Rams. We're going to pause 5 seconds to allow our stations along the line to identify themselves. Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas. Frank Gifford, along with Don Meredith and Fran Tarkenton. Howard Cosell, of course, covering the World Series. We'll be hearing from Howard Tuesday night when we resume coverage in the 6th game. Baltimore out front 3-2. It's been a Cowboys football game, but the Rams have hung in there close. Staubach looking over a audible, he says.
Look at here.
Hangs it up for Tony Hill. Oh! Just off the fingertips. He was in a foot race with Dwayne Osteen, and Roger laid that out there perfect.
Roger thought he saw a blitz coming that time. You saw him kind of change the play right at the last. Newhouse kind of hustles back in there to that blocking position. Cowboys call this a Brown formation. The tight end doesn't go out. He stays in and blocks. So you're trying to get one-on-one over here on this sideline. Man, that's just awfully close. Really good defensive coverage when you say X. Did you play quarterback, Frank, or safety?
I played a little of both. I played cornerback when Tom Landry was playing safety.
Well, I'm sure he had first pick. He wouldn't have picked quarterback.
All right, 3rd down and 11. Butch Johnson stays in the ball game. 3 wide receivers for Dallas. Staubach. Oh! Running room. And Roger, the 37-year-old youngster, gets inside the 15 to the 14. First down, Dallas.
He is absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, that guy's too much. He even got a couple of guys, Ram guys, hurt. You don't fool around with Roger down here in Dallas. He had Pearson, as a matter of fact, that looked like Preston Pearson I'm talking about. Looked like he might have been open deep, but Roger says, I'm not going to really take the chance. I'm going to go in here and pick us up a good first down. Pat Thomas comes in. I believe Thomas may be the guy that was kind of shaken up a little bit. Picked up a first down, though, Fran.
You know, it's the kind of game you like to play when you're quarterback. Everything Roger's doing is working. His running game is working. His short passing game is working. His long passing game is working. And this is the best I've ever seen Roger Staubach look, and that's saying something because he's been great for a number of years. He's off to his best start that he's ever had in his career, and he's really a premier quarterback at age 37. He's never been better.
Pat Thomas comes out. That means the Rams now have neither one of their starting cornerbacks. Rod Perry was hurt early in the season. He's been trying to come back from a bad knee. We get Sid Justin, a rookie out of Cal State of Long Beach, defensively for the Rams. He wears 29. 1st and 10, the ball at the 14-yard line. Drew Pearson in motion. Call goes to Dorsett.
Oh, good defensive stuff.
See those kind of moves at Studio 54. He is really something special. He's even exciting when he loses a yard. Pat Thomas comes back into the lineup. He had himself a big day last week against New Orleans. Picked off 3. Is it Plano, Texas, Don?
Plano.
He's from Plano. And
yeah.
According to one of the newspaper articles, he was around town trying to hustle tickets for his friends.
Yeah, he has about 50 out there. He's a Texas A&M guy, and Plano is just right outside here, right outside Dallas.
Second down and 11. Ball at the 15-yard line. Dorsett, power sweep. Little gap the inside, and Dorsett gets back inside the 15. A gain of a couple. It'll be third down and 9. Jack Youngblood defensively, with most of the Rams' defense in pursuit, made the stop.
All right, as we come up to third down again, I think it's interesting to note as we look at the scoreboard, the clock there, that in games prior to this, the Los Angeles Rams defense has been so good that people have only converted 24% of third downs into first downs. Tonight, the Cowboys have converted 7 out of 10. And Dandy,
let me figure that out for you.
That is something around 70%.
Between 65 and 75%.
Third and 10, shotgun for the Cowboys. 3 wide receivers.
I don't blame him.
Ron Springs, he can pass. Left-handed. Fires into the end zone. Incomplete because Eddie Brown could not hold on to it.
He surprised the Cardinals, I believe it was, with that one. They didn't know he could throw. They didn't know he was left-handed.
And that will bring on Raphael Septien. He could erase that missed conversion from the first quarter. Cowboys leading 20-6.
Fran and I have both been a little more nervous than you have, I think, Frank, about that missed extra point. It seems like so many times when you miss one of those, they have a way of coming back and figuring in the final result. So that maybe this is a shot for him to make up for it.
Septien, 8 of 12 this year. 32-yard attempt. Holder, Danny White, he's a quarterback. And it's good. Raphael Septien puts the Cowboys out in front 23-6, a 32-yarder. And we'll be returning to Texas Stadium in a moment. That, of course, our national telecast, followed by a doubleheader. Texas versus Arkansas will be one of those. Texas, of course, will move up in the ratings with their big win over Oklahoma yesterday here in Dallas. Arkansas undefeated. And you can check the listings for the game that you'll see as your doubleheader in your area. Cowboys had the ball 13 plays. They used up 6 minutes and 18 seconds of the third quarter in that scoring drive. They wound up with a 3-pointer. Here's Drew Hill taking Septien's kickoff at the 7-yard line. And Drew Hill, good goal. He has an open field, but a flag is down. Thurman Munson corrals Drew Hill out at the 35-yard line. Again, a flag is down at the 10-yard line.
Dennis Thurman. Dennis Thurman was the guy that covered that one up in there, but that thing, he could have broken that all the way.
Now they're going to bring it back. They've indicated against the Rams. It's not going too well for Coach Malavasi tonight. I think before he's been around a little bit. Had an interim head coaching job. Here's the call.
Clipping, 72, first down.
Rams clipping. It was number 72. That's Kent Hill. I started to mention Malavasi took over the Denver Broncos on an interim basis back in '66. First and 10. The Rams. Ball at the 4-yard line. Hayden from the end zone. Hanging it up for Terry Nelson, and he's in a foot race with D.D. Lewis. And Hayden tried to hang it on his fingertips because D.D. was offering good coverage for Terry Nelson. D.D. is having a whale of a year also, Don. Every time you get a comment from Tom Landry, he's always pointing out how underrated D.D. Lewis is, number 50.
I think what D.D.'s doing is playing as well as he has for the last few years, Frank. Maybe a little bit better, but I think what Tom's trying to do is point out, I think, something that's really very valid. D.D. has performed so well for Dallas for a number of years and somehow didn't get on that Pro Bowl list early in his career, never has made it. So he's maybe trying to make him a push for that.
On second down, 10. Hayden again from the end zone. Fired again, intended for Terry Nelson, and knocked away by number 42, Randy Hughes.
Randy Hughes is the guy that we mentioned maybe at the top of the show who's filling in for the injured Charlie Waters. And he's always been, since he came to Dallas out of Oklahoma, really a top athlete, tremendously coordinated. He's big, he's strong. He's got actually a little more speed, I think, than has Waters. He's just never been able to crack that starting lineup. All-American high school football player at Oklahoma, and then moved on to Oklahoma, has come down here, and he's the kind of quality player that steps in, and as good as Charlie is, you don't miss him that much. Get well, Charlie. We all do.
He is popular. You saw the sign, get well, Charlie. Third down, 10, Rams. Again from the end zone. Hayden.
Look out. Pat.
He just hangs it up. Fair catch. Called for. Missed and picked off by D.D. Lewis.
D.D.
Cliff Harris could not handle it. It bounced out of his hands. And Pat Hayden just trying to avoid the safety there. And he turns it over to the Rams out at the 30-yard line.
In all fairness to Pat, you see Randy White come in. That's Harvey Martin coming around. He didn't really have much of a shot, but that one is a fair catch one if I ever saw it. And a good play by D.D. Lewis. They were all around it. Somebody had to intercept that ball.
Watch at the bottom of your screen, 79, Harvey Martin coming in on little Pat Hayden. And I don't care if you're 5'11 or you're 6'4, when a big Harvey Martin hits you like he's going to hit Hayden, it hurts.
Oh, boy.
That's paying the price.
First turnover of the game, and the Cowboys have the ball at the 30-yard line of the Rams. There he is. Roger hangs it up. Billy Joe Dupree's in the end zone, and he does not hold on to it. Yeah, he would have loved to have caught that ball. He was back there with Nolan Cromwell, and Roger just hung it high for his 6'4" tight end.
It's a good example where, again, you talk about the split seconds. I believe had Roger had another split second before he had to throw, he could have had a little bit. Let's watch it again. I didn't see who the main rush was from. Oh, they have a little blitz, and that's Youngblood coming in there. They were really coming from both sides. He had to throw it really before Billy Joe was clear, and you see the ball was not really thrown over the proper shoulder. So that was one of those near misses.
A couple of gentleman linebackers, Brzezinski and Youngblood both. They could have unloaded on Roger. They did not. 2nd and 10. Dorsett.
Gosh.
Now that play is designed to go outside. Dorsett read it, cut back to the inside, did it on his own, getting it down close to the 21-yard line. Gain of 9. Bob Brzezinski finally corralled him, but he had a hard time getting him down. Pickup of 9. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Watch Freddie Dreyer come across. They're going to come inside him on the trap. He came out very wide. Brzezinski makes the tackle. But look at Dorsett, little 190-pounder. He drags him on for another 2 or 3 yards.
I think he's just trying to say, let's find a nice soft spot and sit down over here.
Ball marked at the 21-yard line. The 3 tight ends are in now on the short yardage play. Cosby, Saldi, and Dupree.
Roger.
Quarterback sneak. First down, Dallas. Inside the 19-yard line.
They'll have him back there returning punts. You know that?
And he would love it.
Yeah, he'd do it.
There's poor Pat Hayden. You know, poor Pat has had a difficult time in the second half. Both times he's gotten the ball, he's been on his own 3-yard line. The 2 times Staubach's gotten the ball, he's been on the 28 and the 30 of L.A. That makes a tremendous amount of difference. And the question people are asking, you know, should I put Ferragamo in over Hayden? Probably now wouldn't be a bad idea.
Dorsett again turns back to the inside. This time he's pounded to the turf after a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Frank, the reason I say it wouldn't be a bad idea to put Ferragamo in, not because Hayden has played badly, but sometimes you make a change. There's Ferragamo there. You make a change, it might pick up your team. Hayden has got to be frustrated, and it's really not his fault. And Ferragamo says, I can do it, coach, put me in.
Ferragamo has not seen that much action, did a little cleanup. Tampa Bay was cleaning up on the Rams a few weeks ago. 2nd down, 9. Dorsett, a big hole. Dorsett moves inside the 13-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 4. Hit there by Nolan Cromwell and Bob Brzezinski.
Really, the only time L.A. has stopped Dallas on 3rd down tonight, Andy, has been with a penalty.
Yeah, that's right, as a matter of fact.
Tony needs 13 more yards to have his 3rd consecutive 100-yard game.
And that's not counting the 45-yard touchdown that was called back.
He had 145 last week against the Vikings.
Frank, last week, his 145 yards were the 4th highest rushing anybody's ever done for the Cowboys. And he did it.
Out of the shotgun. 3rd down, 4. Ron Springs, 20. Preston Pearson, 26. Are in there for the Cowboys. What a Preston Pearson.
I'm telling you that man.
He stopped inbound short of the goal line, and Roger Staubach took something off of it, hung it up there. Preston Pearson was up to it. Let's look again.
Well, it's what I've been hearing Drysdale and Howard talking about. This is a change of pace, but that's exactly what was called for. He just dropped that one in a bucket right over his head. That's good defensive coverage. Keep in mind that Youngblood was between Staubach and the receiver, but what a catch by Pearson. If he's not Mr. Clutch on this team, I don't know who is. He and Roger together, I guess.
Their leading receiver of a year ago. They don't use him that much this year, but they used to bring him always on third down, get him in there. He was the man they went to. First and goal. Robert Newhouse gets the call. Does not crack that play. It'll be second and goal.
Ray, there's always tomorrow, my man. They've been doing a lot of struggling out there in the L.A. city, trying to get this thing on the road, and I really think one of the major things is what we've really been talking about all night. They've had so many of their frontline players hurt. They haven't been able to. It's what training camp's for, is to get that coordination, everything in sync. The Rams just haven't quite got it yet.
Rams 4-2 coming into tonight's game. Staubach looking over second and goal. Oh, Tony Dorsett. It's his second touchdown of the night. Oh, and does he hit it quickly?
All right.
Just a little bolt of lightning. A little quick trap, little gap, and Dorsett's in the end zone.
What they call a little 90 trap. All that 90 series, they can fake a pitch out to Laidlaw, come back in, a little quick trap up the middle, and there's Tony. He hits it in a hurry. Where are you, friend?
I'm right here looking.
Turn out the lights, my man.
It's time.
Raphael, Septien, Danny White holding. Rams have exceeded their wipeout in the NFC Championship game, and they beat the Rams 28-0 last year. Septien is good. The Cowboys over the Rams 30-6. There's their little quick trap, and beautiful it is. We'll be returning to Texas Stadium right after this message. Tonight for Baltimore, Game 6. Baltimore on top 3-2. Raphael Septien kicks off for the Cowboys. This will be Drew Hill from his own end zone. And Hill gets it out to the 25-yard line, where the Rams will try and get back into this game. Thus far, they've had the most points scored upon them this season. Prior to that, San Francisco was able to put together 24 points, as did Oakland when Oakland defeated the Rams in the season opener 24-17.
Look at that graphic, Frank. Dallas 8 first downs, L.A. none in the third quarter. And they're coming back with Pat Hayden.
First and 10. The ball just over the 25-yard line for the Rams. Cullen Bryant, single setback. Denard in motion. Hayden hits Denard over the middle. They have a Ram first down. And Denard out to the 43-yard line, taken there by Benny Barnes.
Something went wrong that time, friend. That was way too open.
It really was. Well, I think we're going to see, Pat come back and throw the ball most every down now.
That's the end of the third quarter, and you're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. The score, Dallas 30, the Los Angeles Rams 6. We'll return for the fourth quarter in just a moment. Having a difficult night. He really blame it on Pat Hayden. He's been sacked 4 times, and he's been hit many more times than that just as he released the ball. Rams first and 10, the ball at the 44-yard line. Wendell Tyler in motion for the Rams.
Look out.
And Ron Smith does not hold on. Would have been a Ram first down. Hayden put that in rather well, but he again was pounded just as he released it.
Randy White was right there close. Fran, it's 30-6, Dallas. What do you think that this is a time that you could insert a Ferragamo into the offense and not really throw any blame on Hayden?
I really do. I don't think it's Hayden's fault tonight. The defense hasn't played up to its normal self. The special teams have broken down, and I think it's a good time to. Pat wants to, I'm sure the times you're frustrated, let me out. Let Ferragamo get a little experience, and I think it'd be a good move to let Ferragamo play it out. I think Dallas has got the game in the bag. Let Ferragamo play, get some experience.
Second down and 10 for the Rams. Inside handoff, Cullen Bryant. Big hole, and Cullen Bryant scrambles into Dallas territory at the 47-yard line, up into there by Aaron Mitchell defensively for Dallas. Short of the first down.
I would think that it's a good time to use not only Ferragamo, but also Danny White for Dallas, because it's an opportunity not only to play, but to play against two really good football teams. The Rams are a good football team.
No question about it.
And so it's a good opportunity to do that.
I agree with you.
3rd down, 2.
We'll see if Tom agrees with both of us in just a minute. Malavasi does it right now.
Denard in motion. Hayden rolling out. Tries to go to Denard off his fingertips. Have to be very careful with that because Aaron Kyle was moving up quickly from his cornerback spot for Dallas. It'll be 4th down, Rams.
Again, it was not a badly thrown ball.
No.
Out comes Ken Clark, and dropping deep for the Cowboys. A sensational free agent find out of Howard, Steve Wilson.
Don, interesting statistic here. L.A. has converted 1 of 10 3rd down situations, and they say that you've got to convert on 3rd down. That tells the story, too.
And they only had the ball a little over 3 minutes in the entire 3rd quarter.
If you don't know all that sort of stuff, look at the scoreboard. It's 30-6.
Steve Wilson, he drops the ball at the 9, finds it again, and slithers up over the 15 to the 16-yard line. So we have timeout with 14:02 remaining in the game, and we'll be back in just a moment. Dallas has the ball, 1st and 10, the ball at their own 17-yard line. Newhouse, or rather Laidlaw, gets the call over the left side. He rolls out close to the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. The skyline of Dallas on a 72-degree night. Beautiful night for football. And, of course, we'll be looking at a different skyline tomorrow night. It's the Big Apple, the Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. The Jets with the best ground game in the NFL after 6 games, but they have a little man named Wesley Walker you'll see tomorrow night. And, of course, Minnesota can answer with the likes of Ahmad Rashad, Sammy White. You should see the ball in the air a great deal tomorrow night. 2nd and 7. Robert Newhouse over the 20 to the 22-yard line. Of course, it'll be a bit of a reunion for you, Fran, tomorrow night. The old boys up in the...
Yeah, and I'm going to tell the world the real truth about Harry Peter Grant, better known as Bud Grant.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to know about that myself.
Yeah, the real inside story. I've got it. And I'm going to tell the world tomorrow night.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
They've been hanging around for that one.
Yeah, really, but yeah, the world is waiting to hear about Harry Peter Grant.
3rd down, 5. Cowboys, their own 22-yard line. They have been nearly perfect tonight on offense, but not bad on defense. Staubach, Jay Salty, Dallas 1st down at the 34-yard line.
You know, it's just not that easy, people out there watching. It's not that easy. Dallas is making this look so easy, and they're playing against one of the great defenses in football. It was always tough when I played against them, and I know it's tough for every other quarterback to play against them. And Dallas is just walking down the field against them. And it's, you know, it's a proud defensive team, and they don't have many nights like this, but I'm not sure they can do anything about it. Dallas is so sharp, it's really unbelievable.
Roger is 13 of 18 for 3 touchdowns and 176 yards. Jay Salty, who caught that ball, has got 3 on the night for 49 yards. One of them a Roger Staubach touchdown. Staubach, Dorsett. And Dorsett, somehow he always gets another yard, another 2 or 3, and this time he moves out to the 42-yard line, and he now has 95 yards on the night, 5 yards short of his 100-yard mark, and that would be a new Cowboy record. No Cowboy runner has ever put together 3 consecutive 100-yard games.
Donald, it's interesting to me that Tom Landry, the 30-3 lead with 12 minutes left to go in the game, is not taking any chances. He's keeping the big boys in there all the way.
Well, I think he'll go one more series, one more drive.
Dorsett.
That is just amazing.
Twist. Stop very close to another Cowboy 1st down. Larry Brooks defensively for the Rams, along with Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, number 64. And in comes the short yardage offense. They're going to give a measurement here, I believe. However, I do believe they're a little short. Landry has sent his 2 tight ends in to join Billy Joe Dupree. Doug Cosby's out there, Jay Salty.
And did you notice Danny White edging closer to Tom Landry and saying, please, Tom, let me have a shot at this?
Yeah, Danny is one of the guys that, you know, they've been saying he's waiting on this. In fact, all of us say he's just chomping at the bits. And I think any quarterback I've ever known wants to play. They don't really like sitting on that bench. And he has a great deal of respect for Roger. But he knows that sooner or later his time's going to come. And I think for Danny, it's just as soon that it'd be sooner.
Had a little bad luck early in the season, right before the season started. He broke his thumb, banged it off Larry Bethea's head in practice, and he's only been able to play for the past couple of weeks. You saw how short, just a few inches. It'll be third down. The Dallas Cowboys 5-1 coming into tonight. Philadelphia, of course, beat St. Louis today. They're 6-1. They're looking in tonight.
Frank, do you realize that the 2 wild cards might come from the NFC East? Philadelphia and Washington and Cowboys, all with good records.
Jack Pardee doing a tremendous job with the Redskins. They're 5-2. They had a win today over Cleveland. Third and short. Newhouse gets the call, and he gets to the 45. He has a Dallas first down with 11:20 remaining in the game. Dallas coming into tonight, averaging over 400 yards of offense, leading the entire NFL, and they haven't done anything to take the luster away from their offensive show. There he is.
Another Roger. He says, I'm going for a world record tonight. I'm after 2,400. I can play for anybody. Look
Roger Owens, the peanut man, going for world's record. He said his peanut elbow is much better tonight. He should be able to go all the way. On 1st and 10, Scott Laidlaw gets the call. And collects some Rams after a gain of a yard and a half. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Almost get the feeling they're trying to run out the clock with 10.5 minutes left. Everybody's kind of just saying, well, let's go ahead and get this thing over with out here. Son of a gun.
But Newhouse brings the play in from the sidelines.
Goodness.
He's alternating with Scott Laidlaw. Mark it at the 46, so it's actually 2nd down and 9. Dorsett adjusts to the tailback in the eye. Newhouse gets the call, and down he goes. Mike Fanning defensively for the Rams, another telling statistic.
I was really impressed. I saw the Philadelphia-St. Louis game today, and I was impressed with both those teams. They made some mistakes and came back. The Cardinals come in here next week to play Dallas, but those high-flying Eagles, man, they've got them a good football team.
We'll have them right here November the 12th on Monday Night Football, and that could be quite a showdown.
I think it will, too. I really do.
Ron Jaworski injured his leg in that game today, but he stayed in there, was limping a little bit. Curious to see how he comes out of that. 3rd and 9.
There's Hill.
Just scrambles out once again, and Roger over midfield into Ram territory at the 49-yard line, short of the 1st down. The Cowboys will punt.
Now, if I were Landry for sure, I wouldn't let him go back in there and play anymore.
I wouldn't either.
At 30-6, I don't want to see Roger running if I'm the head coach over there.
I wouldn't want to see Roger hurt or Dorsett hurt, and I'd be sure both of those guys are sitting on the bench the rest of this game. That's a moral victory for the Rams. They stopped them on 3rd down without a penalty.
I'll tell you what, Danny White may not be playing quarterback, but he's not punting so bad. He's averaging 52.3 yards. A couple of weeks ago against Cincinnati, he set a Cowboy record, averaging a little over 47 yards. So here's Danny White with Eddie Brown waiting back around his 10-yard line. White hangs it high, and he has Cowboys down there.
That is really...
Fair catch called for and made by Eddie Brown inside the 10, where the Rams will begin once again deep in their own territory with 8:30 remaining in the game. Quarterback Vince Ferragamo, I've told you that he is in his 3rd year, a 4th-round draft pick at 77. 6 of 13 this year, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 22 of 48 during his Ram career, has thrown 3 touchdown passes. This is Elvis Peacock. And Peacock gets out over the 10, close to the 12-yard line before being hit there by Bob Bruning. Gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Here's old Scott Laidlaw out of Stanford, and he and Robert Newhouse been shutting the plays back and forth tonight. A little hot and sweaty, but it's been a good night for Mr. Laidlaw.
Yeah, Elvis Peacock in there along with Vince Ferragamo. He came up as a #1 draft pick a year ago. He hurt his knee in the 3rd preseason game, was out for the entire year.
What do you think Malavisi told him, Danny? Go out there, Ferragamo, and win this thing for us, huh?
On 2nd and 7, he has the time. He finds his receiver, Ron Smith. Ram first down at the 26. Benny Barnes there to defend against Ron Smith, but it's a Ram first down. Ferragamo, 6'3", a 207-pounder, out of West Banning High School in Wilmington, California. A local boy who made good.
There's Danny White.
Hey,
He says, I can throw as well as kick.
You see his thumb wrapped there. Again, I told you that was fractured right at the beginning of the season. He was able to punt, but until a couple of weeks ago, he could not take a snap from center. Handoff, Peacock, and Elvis Peacock gets out over the 30 to the 31-yard line, a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. There's that thumb. He hurt it in practice, banged it against Larry Bethea's head.
I was teasing Danny before the game. He's also got on a set of rib pads, which you can kind of see coming through the jerseys there. And Roger didn't have any rib pads, nor did Toronto. I said, what is this? I said, you know, you're not supposed to protect yourself like that. You got to learn to go out and play with pain. Yeah. He says, I ain't dumb, man. He says, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. It's one of those. Protect myself.
Ferragamo with a safety blitz has to unload it as he was looking right into the big number of 42, Randy Hughes, who came on the blitz. Incomplete. 3rd and 5.
Randy Hughes, Frank, we were talking about earlier, but he's 6'4", 210 pounds, and is fast. You just don't see guys like that. Money is pouring into the press box all along to help replace that there. We now have 30 cents tonight. I've got a quarter and a nickel coming in. We're going to fix that.
Goodyear Blimp America, high overhead, looking down at Texas Stadium. A little over 64,000 showed up for tonight's game. 3rd and 5. Ferragamo. It's a Teron Smith, and it's almost picked off. Cliff Harris trying to get the deflection, and Ferragamo got pounded rather thoroughly.
I think you could see, Frank, that what Harris was really trying to do when he couldn't intercept it was to tip it back up in the air, knowing that more of his guys were around than the Rams. Let's see if that didn't happen. I know they have a drill like that.
Watch Bruce Thornton come in here.
He put him pretty good. Now look at it, Cliff. See, he tried to bat it back up. Thornton could come along and pick it up.
Those are the things you do with a 24-point lead. Ken Clark to punt for the Rams. Steve Wilson is deep for Dallas, and he'll have his 10s from his 30. And hustling down there defensively is Joe Harris for the Rams. Steve Wilson gets back to the 36-yard line. Cowboys have the football. 39-yard punt by Ken Clark, and we'll be back. Danny White is the quarterback now for the Dallas Cowboys. Roger Staubach leaves the game. 13 of 18, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 38 yards. But Danny White, the quarterback now for the Cowboys, wearing number 11, hands off to Tony Dorsett, and Dorsett picks up a quick 3 yards.
Wait a minute.
Close to the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Can you believe Dorsett is still in the game, Danny?
Well, it's the only thing I can think of, and it's really not like the Dallas organization to try to get him a record or whatever it is, but he doesn't have 100 yards yet, does he,
He
Frank?
just got it right there.
Just got 100. Well,
it's a new Cowboy record. Tony Dorsett at 100 yards. First time any running back for the Cowboys has ever put together 3 straight 100-yard games. 2nd and 7. 5:47 remaining in the game. Dorsett gets the call again and ekes out another 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down. They'll call it 3rd and 3. Bob Brzezinski in there on the stop. And what a night Roger Staubach leaves with.
You know, people always ask me as we look at Roger, is Roger really as nice a guy as he appears? And let me tell you, folks, he is. He's everything he seems to you.
he's that nice, and he's a lot more fun than you'd think, too.
Yeah, yes.
You can be nice and be a real, and have a lot of fun, too. He's got a great, dry sense of humor, and I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a fun guy to be around. I talked to him this afternoon, and he talks candidly about things, and hello.
Danny White, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 3rd down 3. Jay Saldi. Saldi's 4th reception of the night. A Cowboy first down, 40-yard line of the Rams.
Now, that's something, man. You can bring them off the bench and do like that. Frank, I think we guessed right. There's a thing on the scoreboard now announcing that Tony Dorsett is the first Cowboy to rush for 100 yards. It's 3 straight games.
Watch this throw. Danny White is his first throw of the night, I think, and he's going to put it right on the numbers. Jay Saldi cannot throw it any better than that. And there's poor old Jim Youngblood. He's been
it's only his
step
second
short every time.
Only his second attempt of the season for Danny White. Threw the ball 64 times last year, completed 37 of them. Now in his 4th year with the Cowboys out of Arizona State. On the 1st and 10, Ron Springs, the rookie from Ohio State, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
You know, as Malavasi, in a way, it's kind of a shame that Jay Salty I think, is a very good tight end. He has to play behind Billy Joe Dupree here because Billy Joe Dupree is so good. As we look at Malavasi, a lot of teams he could start on.
They've actually got him listed as a 3rd tight end behind a rookie that he found out in Santa Clara, Doug Cosby.
I know it.
Solid on the night, 4 receptions, 66 yards. Danny White looking over a 2nd down and 10, changing off. This is Ron Springs, and down goes Ron Springs. Again, Bob Brzezinski. Immediately after this game, we'll be taking a charter flight into New York. Remind you again, tomorrow night, our first Monday night telecast ever from the Big Apple, New York City. By the way, it is a sellout at Shea Stadium, the Jets of Minnesota, and the blackout is lifted in New York.
That is, some of us are going to take a charter flight to New York, yes.
All right.
3rd down, 15. Ron Springs, number 20. A rookie setback in there with Preston Pearson, number 26. Not quite a rookie. Preston's been around 13 years. Came up with Baltimore, traded to Pittsburgh. Cowboys got him as a free agent. White over the middle, intended for Butch Johnson. And Butch Johnson was in a battle there with Sid Justin, the rookie from Cal State of Long Beach, for the football, incomplete. Butch Johnson, who really had a great preseason. We talked to him during the course of that preseason. He was catching the football in every game, doing just everything perfect for the Cowboys. And then right before the season, he broke the little finger on his right hand. And really disappointed. And meanwhile, a Ram player is down, Pat Thomas.
You know, they really cannot.
They have really had a tremendous amount of injuries this year. They could ill afford to lose this young man, Pat Thomas. We'll be back. The Goodyear Blimp America hovering around Irving, Texas. There is Texas Stadium. And the Hall of Fame circle here at Texas Stadium. One of those up there, number 17, Don Meredith.
To a burning ring of
Went
fire.
through the early years, and they were not all that comfortable, as I recall, Andy.
Now, the Cowboy fortunes certainly took a different direction after I left. You can figure it out.
Pat Thomas has left the field. He had to have assistance as he left the field. Danny White now out of punt. He hangs it high, looking for the corner, and he doesn't get it. Well, Pat Thomas has been taken from the game. Rod Perry, we told you earlier, the other regular cornerback, is already out with a bad knee. Dave Elmendorf was hurt tonight. We don't know to what degree. He is on the sidelines, Dave Elmendorf.
How much?
Rams beleaguered with injuries.
How much can you take? They really cannot afford to lose Pat Thomas. They just lost too many players to compete against a team like the Dallas Cowboys. However, this loss isn't going to put them out of it because in their division, they're still boss. They're going to have a 4-3 record. The closest to them is L.A. and New Orleans with 3-4 records. And neither one of them look like a threat to the Rams.
And Vince Ferragamo remains the quarterback. 1st and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line following the touchback. 3:17 remaining, and Ferragamo is being pursued and tripped up by Larry Bethea. Inside the 15, it'll be a loss. Back to the 12-yard line, a 7-yard loss. Over the years, the story of the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't have a winning season until 1966. Since then, they have been in the playoffs every year but one. They've been in 5 Super Bowls. When they put it together, they really put it together. A team of Tex Schramm, Tom Landry,
And Gil Brandt.
Gil Brandt. Great personnel evaluator. 2nd down, 17. Ferragamo lays it up beautifully. Oh, and Dennis Thurman. Dennis Thurman comes up with it, an interception. Well, I meant it was a beautiful spiral.
And it was a pretty pass.
No question. It really was pretty. Dennis Thurman.
All right, here comes Ferragamo. He's the people's choice in L.A. They think he's tall enough to play quarterback. He throws it out here and leads Dennis Thurman perfectly.
Well, Dennis ran a better route, I think. Don't you? When you look at it, he ran a little bit better route.
Hello, Dennis.
He was definitely open.
Yeah, and Wendell Tyler had a man covering him, so I wouldn't do that.
You know, we've talked about the Dallas organization. We look at Dennis Thurman many times. Hello, Dennis. The significant thing about him, the people you mentioned, Frank, have all been there in their jobs for the 19 years that Dallas has been in business. Joe Brandt, Tex Schramm, Tom Landry, running the fortunes of the Dallas Cowboys. Stability is theirs.
White hands off to Scott Laidlaw. Flag is down. Laidlaw is down at the 42-yard line after a pickup of about 4.
It has been, really, this is the 20th year of the Cowboys, and it has been a very successful story. I think that, you know, it's going to be interesting. I just can't believe the Cowboys don't have something else in mind when they traded away their number 1 and number 2. So I'm not going to be terribly surprised if somehow before next year's draft they don't figure out a way to get somebody else's number 1 or number 2.
Somebody was speculating that Ed Too Tall Jones might not be so happy with his boxing career after he fought a couple times. If he came back, could you imagine that front four? Dutton, and you move right along, Randy White, Harvey Martin, and there's something right now.
You know, I really think it was an excellent move. The Cowboys could afford to make that move because they've got plenty of football players, as we listen to the official on this call.
Personal foul, crackback, 81.
Cracking back was Steve Wilson.
But as you two know, you win with great football players. John Dutton has been a great football player for a number of years. He's young at 28. They can afford to give up a first and second round draft choice. But I agree with you, Don. I think they'll get a number 1 draft choice next year, make a trade to get that.
Penalty moves the ball back to the Cowboys' 23-yard line. First down, 25 to go. Cosby, the tight end, rookie from St. Clair in motion, and Danny White coughed it up when he was hit by Mike Fanning, and there's a scramble inside the Cowboys' 5-yard line.
You know, if on this play, I really think Danny was trying to throw the ball. It would have been intentionally grounding the ball, but I think they could have called this intentionally grounded rather than a fumble, but it was a judgment call. The official called it a fumble.
I think he did it intentionally to put himself in a better punting position because he had so much success coming out of the end zone.
All right, watch his right arm. He's getting locked up here pretty good, but he's going to make a move to throw the ball. Let's watch him. No, he didn't.
Well, it was.
Sorry, Danny. I tried to protect you, but I just can't.
Wait a minute. I didn't even come. I don't think he's getting in punting position is what I think he's doing.
Well, he wants to make a 95-yard punt now. That's what you're saying. He had 73 already.
Oh, boy.
Burton Lawless recovered the fumble for the Cowboys, but they are moved all the way back to their own 3-yard line. The original line of scrimmage was up at the 38. 2-minute warning. We'll be back in a moment. Minutes remaining to play, and not a whole lot of
the number
people
one
have left.
Number 1 rated TV, made-for-TV movie in 1978 was a movie about the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Think about that one.
I'm going to think about it a while.
True.
Meanwhile, Danny White is thinking about a 2nd and 45 from his own 3.
I'd run off tackle.
Ron Springs gets it out to the 10-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 38. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football is produced by Dennis Lewin. Tonight's telecast directed by Andy Sedaris, with Chet Forte, of course, directing the World Series. He'll be in Baltimore on Tuesday night, along with Howard. Our technical director is Joe Nisi. Our associate director is Rob Biner. Our technical manager, Vern Carrick. Unit manager is Marshall Lopez. Our spotter, Steve Bazika. Statistician, Mike Swanson. 3rd down and 38. Danny White, just as good as a punt. Oh! He comes up with it. Steve Wilson, the rookie from Howard, a little better than a punt. At the 45-yard line of the Los Angeles Rams. Dwayne Osteen back there covering. Let's look again.
All right, here comes Danny White off the I formation. He comes back to throw to Steve Wilson. He has got now the longest punt of the night and the longest pass of the night. And touchdown Tommy Wilson. That Daddy is so proud of Steve Wilson. Touchdown Tommy played in Minnesota, too. Hello, Steve.
Not
You
bad.
better look at your dad.
It's been exciting. He ran a kickoff back against the Bears for 84 yards and a touchdown. They called it back because of a penalty, but he has really put some spark into the special team of the Cowboys.
There's Freddie Dreyer. Freddie is just disappointed. What a great competitor Freddie Dreyer. He's a free-spirited guy, but he is really a competitive football player and a great football player, and he is down.
1st and 10, Dallas. Inside the 46-yard line of the Rams. 1:37 remaining in the game, and this is Ron Springs, the rookie from Ohio State. That's 3 yards, close to the 41. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Don,
Los Angeles Rams since 1970. I said earlier in the telecast they're working towards a 7th consecutive Western Division title of the NFC. Cowboys have been a bit of a nemesis for the Rams. 3 times they've been eliminated from the playoffs in the last 6 years by these Dallas Cowboys.
And the Vikings eliminated
28-0.
And the Vikes eliminated a couple of times too.
Yeah. 2nd and 7. 57 seconds remaining in the game. Brown Springs. And back and gets inside the 40 for a gain of a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Bob Brzezinski defensively for the Rams. Now they mark it at the 40, so we'll call it 3rd down and 4.
It was a good cut by Springs that time. He was following Tom Rafferty's block. Jerry Wilkinson is the new defensive end for the Rams. Wilkinson just played way upfield. Rafferty just kind of fenced him off, and Springs got right behind him.
Dallas on the night, 187 rushing yards. Los Angeles 59. Tony Dorsett accounting for 103 of those 187 Dallas yards. 3rd and 4.
Problem is the last play.
Ron Springs, another Dallas first down. Fumbles the football. They did not rule it down, and Eddie Brown has it.
Wilson.
And Eddie Brown fumbles it, and there's a mad scramble on the sidelines. A fitting ending
Yes,
to
sure
tonight's
is.
game as time expires.
Oh, me. I think the scene turning out the lights in this game would be redundant.
They turned them out some time ago, and Tom Landry has himself another victory. The final score, Dallas 30, Los Angeles 6. Be sure to join us tomorrow for ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings against the New York Jets from Shea Stadium in New York. Our break provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through, and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. More people fly United to Hawaii than any other airline. This has been a presentation of the leader, ABC Sports, bringing you exclusive coverage when the world comes to America this February for the 1980 Winter Olympics. And the Cowboys sink the Rams here on Sunday night.